Oh, hello there, and welcome to video number 27. This video is on the product of prime factors. The keywords are product, prime, factors, and decomposition. Product is the result of multiplying some numbers together. Prime, prime numbers are numbers that have only got two factors. And factors, well, they are the numbers that fit into given numbers. And decomposition is when you break something down. Okay, so the method states to represent a given number as a product of prime factors, you need to use a factor tree. When you hear the word factor tree, most students go, oh, I know what factor trees are, I can do factor trees. It's just hearing the words product of prime factors that makes people a little bit scared. So write the number that you want to break down in the circle at the top, draw two branches coming from it. Think of a pair of factors right at the end of each branch. If the numbers are prime, you've found the prime factors already. If they're not prime, you need to keep doing it for either one or both of the numbers until you've got, until you can't do it anymore. Okay, and then you will have the prime factors. So question number 1 says write the number 45 as the product of its prime factors. So 45, I'm going to put it in the circle. You don't have to put it in the circle, but I always do. Now I'm going to think of two numbers that multiply together to make 45, and I know that 9 multiplies by 5 to make 45. I know that 5 is a prime number, and again, if you're not sure what your prime numbers are, you're going to have to watch the prime number video that I have made. It will help you. So 5 is definitely a prime number. 9 is not a prime number because it has factors of 3, or it has 3 factors. 3 times 3 makes 9. Okay, so there we go. I have found, because both of those are prime, I've found the prime factors. So I'm going to write it as a product of its prime factors, which means I'm going to write 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5 as my answer. Okay, 45 is equal to this. Or we could write our answer as 3 squared multiplied by 5, because that's just using powers. This sometimes will state, give your answer in index form, right? That just means use powers, all right? So, powers video will be coming up shortly as well if you want to watch a powers video, or need to. Now, question number 2, A and B are integers. That means they are whole numbers, remember. So, A is 2 times 3 times 5 times 7, all right? And B is 2 to the power of 3 times by 5 squared. Okay, which is larger? We need to decide which is the bigger number, A or B. Show your working. So I'm going to work out what A is. Now, all I've got to do to work out what A is do 2 times 3 times 5 times 7. So I'm going to do 2 times 3 first, which is 6. I'm just going to write each thing down. Each equals 6. 6 then multiplies by the 5 to make 30. And then 30 multiplies by the 7 to make 210. So I found that A is 210. Now, B is equal to 2 cubed, 2 times 2 times 2. All right, and again, powers video coming shortly. So that's 8, all right, and then 5 squared, well, 5 times 5 is 25. So 8 multiplied by 25 is 200, and I've decided that A is bigger. A is bigger is my answer, and I've shown the working, and that's all good enough to get the marks on the question. Okay, now in question 3, I'm just going to move myself over here again. Use prime factor decomposition to find the HCF and the LCM of 45 and 36. Now, this is a bit of a process, and I quite like to use a Venn diagram to do this. Now, Venn diagrams are their own topic in their own right these days, but you can still use a Venn diagram method here to work out the HCF and LCM for this particular question. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to show you what you need to do. I've written that up there. It's this prime factors, or finding the prime factors, are very useful for finding the HCF and the LCM, and I'll show you now why. Now, I've already done 45, and they do this quite often as well in exam questions. They make you work one out, right, in here, and you get a couple of marks for that, and then you can use that in your next question. So I know that 45, I'm just going to write it out here, 45 is equal to 3 times 3 times 5. Okay, and I want to work out 36. So I'm going to do 36 in the circle at the top, and I'm going to do 6 times 6. And then I know that I can't break those, or I can break those down further, and that's going to be 2 times 3 and 2 times 3. I know 2 is prime and 3 is prime, so I'm going to circle all of those. All right, now I'm going to write that down here. 36 is equal to 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. We tend to write the answer in ascending order. It doesn't really matter. Now, this is a Venn diagram. Okay, so 2 circles, or 2, not really circles, 2 ovals, 2 shapes, doesn't really matter what shapes they are. 45 is represented by this circle, and 36 is represented by this circle. Okay, now I'm going to put the prime factors that are in common. Okay, so I've got a 3 there, and a 3 there. So that's 1 3 that goes in the middle. And then I've got a 3 there and another 3 there. So that's another 3 that goes in the middle. And there's nothing else that goes in the middle. So I've got a 5 here, and that's going to go there in just the 45 circle. And this is the point of intersection. So that's the things that are in common in the Venn diagram. Okay, and then you've got a 2 there and a 2 there, and there's 2 2s that go here. Now, this times this, 3 times 3, whatever you've got in here, right, you multiply by 1, and you've got the HCF, because 1 is always going to be the smallest highest common factor that you could get of two numbers, because 1 is always a factor of every single number. So you're going to do 3 times 3. Okay, 3 times 3 is 9, so the highest common factor of these two numbers, 36 and 45, is 9. I'm write down HCF equals 9, and then I'm going to write down the LCM. Now the LCM is found by doing this number here multiplied by this number here multiplied by whatever this number is multiplied. So whatever these, if you've got more than one number in here, multiply them together, work out what that is. Okay, that's 5 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 4. Okay, so I'm going to do 5 multiplied by 4. I should write down LCM comes out the side here. That's what I like to do. So that's going to be 5 times by 4 times by 9. Doesn't matter what order you multiply in, you're going to get your answer. That's going to be 20 multiplied by 9. 2 times 9 is 18. So that lowest common multiple will be 180. Okay. Just double check that is correct. So I don't want to make the video again. 9 multiplied by 4 is 36. Times that by 5 is 180. So I am happy with my answers there. I've shown you how to find the HCF and the LCM using the prime factor decomposition method, which is just using a factor tree, okay, to find the prime factors. It all sounds a bit wordy, doesn't it? But actually, in reality, I think it's a fairly simple process to follow, and most students quite like this one. There you go. So please like the video if you liked it and learnt from it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so already. Thank you to those that have. And I will be here in the next video. Click the link in the description when it is available, and you will be able to practice this particular skill. Have a lovely evening. Goodbye.